Life can be quite difficult and challenging at times, and we could all use with a little push in the back. And there's different shapes and forms of encouragement that people express in different ways, which I've been thinking about as somebody tried to encourage me in their own way, but it didn't work and it actually made my life a little miserable. I felt bad about my own progress. So I sat down and I identified that there is in fact people that are more adept to specific forms of encouragement than others. So for you something might work and for me something else might work. So I'm going to really quickly now tell you the most basic types of encouragement in which people express it, and then I'm going to explain them a bit more and see which one you identify with. And please let me know which one will be your type in the comments. I do take my time to read it and it will actually help me understand more about others and to reflect upon myself more. Here it goes. These will be the titles I will give to each form of encouragement: challenges, insults, accountability, and magnification. Let's start with challenges. Challenges work well with most men. It's essentially saying, can you do this? I bet you can't jump over that fence, and then you go and do it, right? It's a way of challenging what you do, what you have, what values, what skills, your courage. And you put it to the test and then it encourages you to actually do it. I bet you're not gonna ask out that girl over there. Oh yeah? Watch me. And you go and do it and you're trembling, your heart is shaking. You like that girl, but you've been challenged, now you kind of gotta abide to it. To some people it helps, to some people it doesn't. Personally, to me, it certainly does. If I am, let's say, at the gym and my boy says, come on, you wouldn't do 10, and I'm there struggling on my 5th one, and I'm like, you think I won't? And then I keep pushing and I push throughout, and maybe I get to 9.5, whereas I would have stopped at like 6 or something, right? Challenging is a very effective way of encouraging other people, but to some others they may feel down about it. Some other people you may challenge them and they'll doubt themselves. They won't have enough self-faith, self-belief, and they'll say, no, I don't think I can do it, and you actually just be dragging them down. So it's a perfect bridge into the next one. The next one's going to be magnification. For this type of people, if you magnify them and you augment the self-faith that they have in themselves, this also proves to be a good way. By the way, you're not necessarily married to one sense of being motivated or encouraged. You can be encouraged by different methods, but there are some people that can only be encouraged by some methods, and there are some people which are dangerous to use certain methods with because they actually have a negative effect. But back to magnification. When you magnify somebody, you exalt them, right? You make them bigger. So this could be, for example, they don't think that they can make the jump. We'll go with sports for most of these things because it's very easy to, as an example. So let's say that they're trying to make a big jump into the water and then it's a high fall and they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm scared. And you're like, you got this, I believe in you. You've done things that are worse in life before, right? You've done things that are more scary than this. You can do it, I believe in you. You're a courageous young person, man or woman. You're blah blah blah, you're this and that. And you augment their self-faith, their self-belief, and then they're like, okay, I'm going to give it a go. And then they do it, they jump, they feel good about it, of course. Whenever we make that jump, in whatever analogy you want to take it as, we feel better about it. But that's another topic. And yeah, the reaffirming magnification actually works super well for their own identity. Just how when you challenge somebody and say, oh yeah, and then they complete the challenge, they feel great about themselves. And if they didn't complete it, they feel great about trying, and they also increase their own self-faith, self-belief. Next up, we've got insults. Some people are actually driven by insults. When people doubt them, when people put them down, they use these negative emotions of anger, of despair, of sorrow, and they say, I'm going to prove the world wrong. I'm going to prove everybody that I can do it. The prime example that most of us know is David Goggins. David Goggins is a phenomenal guy that runs for days and days, hundreds of miles, which is absolutely insane. With holes in his heart, with whatever machines. I've read both of his books, and he talks about how he has comments which tell him different things and how he prints them and then puts them on his wall and stuff and then reads them. It's like, I'm gonna prove that motherfucker wrong. He speaks like that, right? And I've seen this to work with people where you insult them and they say they can't take it. They hate this kind of thing and they want to prove you wrong about it. However, there's another group of people that won't take it so well. I've recently found out that I am in that category of people. Somebody was trying to encourage me and they were just talking bad to me. I know that their intentions were good, that's why I'm saying that they were trying to encourage me, hopefully. But they were just talking to me in a really bad way, you know, boo-hoo me, whatever. And I was actually having a very, very productive time. They were just unaware of it. And their words made me do a lot of crazy stuff. For example, relapsing, which I haven't done in I don't even know how long. Or scrolling through, just watching YouTube for hours and hours and hours. And things of the sort. My whole mood went down, my whole productivity went down after having such an amazing day. Which, by the way, I saw the message the next day, their messages, because there was a whole lot of them, just judging me and insulting my way of doing things without having any knowledge of it. And I read it, and I read it when I was on my break, because I was on a tight routine where I was super productive. And this just ruined my mood. And I know, we shouldn't let people affect us, blah blah blah. And there's all of this talk about, oh well, be stronger and put up with the critics. Yes, I'll try my best and I'll continue to try and evolve. I'm just pointing out what type of category of people there is and what type of effective encouragement there can be for each person. And for now, unfortunately, insults really drag me down. Eventually, when I have more self-concurrence, so self-government, perhaps I'll be more in control of these things. But as of now, I'm sorry, David Goggins, and I'm sorry to myself, but I do not deal well with it when it's people that are close to me. Apart from that, I've seen like a few hate comments on YouTube, or you know, not necessarily hate. Well, there was a few, but disapprovals and people that went for my character and stuff, and I really couldn't give a fuck. So I guess it's more about like people that are close to me that make me feel bad when they insult me, which is normal, but some people thrive on it. So yeah, there will be something to tie everything together, stick around for that. But lastly, we've got accountability. Accountability is a very good way of encouraging other people. Let's say that you and your friend want to get in better shape. Again, everything physical, just so easy to go with. And you say to each other, all right, we're going to go to the gym 5 times a week. All right, you know, decent amount. And then you start going, you have your routine. And one day, obviously you're talking to each other every day. And one day, as you lay in the morning in bed, and they ask you, hey, did you go to the gym? And that day you didn't want to go to the gym. You say, oh, nah, not yet, maybe I'll go later on. But their role there as an accountability partner in the role of encouraging you is to say, you know, it's unlikely that you will go later on if you don't go now. This is for you, and you've given me your word that you were going to do it. And upon saying something like that, they will realize their own lack and they'll say, you don't have to say anything like, come on, be stronger than that, just simply point out the facts. They will say to themselves and to you, okay, you're right, yeah, I'll go. Because they don't want to let you down, you know, they don't want to let another person down. It would be cool and it would be great if we didn't want to let ourselves down when we scroll in our bed for hours and when we don't get out of bed for hours and all of these things. But we are social creatures, so why not use everything that is in our nature to our advantage? We hate letting other people down above from ourselves. Some spiritual people hate letting divinity down, God, right? And so they take it upon themselves to do great acts, and these people are super good with self-accountability and all these things. But for the most of us that are not maybe in a degree of spirituality, it would be greatly beneficial for us to get a friend and, you know, set some goals with them and check up on each other because they're friends anyway. Each day, each morning, hey, did you do the thing that you wanted to do today? Yes, no, why? And then, you know, you encourage each other because you don't want to let the other person down. Now, as promised, to tie everything together, there's something very special to be said about all of this. When you're trying to encourage somebody, you must have the intention of encouraging them. Many people see another person that may be failing at something that you're succeeding at, and then self-exalt themselves, and then be like, I mean, bro, it's not that hard, it's not that bad, whatever, you're just being lazy, this and that. You got the intention all wrong. Or maybe you have the right intention, but you're not carrying yourself correctly. To encourage somebody else is not to think about yourself and how great you are, but it's to think about the other person and how you can help them become better. You should carry yourself prideless, rid of all vanity, and rather look at the other person and think about how you can not only save them face for maybe their lack at this current moment, but also encourage them to be better. So think about what kind of character they may have, and then think about these 4 principal ways of encouraging others. There might be another one, but essentially it's these 4 that I'm talking about: magnitude, accountability, insult, and challenges. And pick something that is likely to work for this person that you care about, and you care about them, so don't hurt them without any good intentions, just to make yourself feel better about yourself and to make yourself more dignified in your own eyes. No, the more dignified person is the one that cares about the other more, the one that thinks about themselves less. So yeah, help other people, man, and help yourself and think about these things. And I am rooting for you, so I encourage you to be better, and I encourage myself to be better too. And I have a space, a Discord space, where we try to do that. We try and help everybody become better. There's not a lot of people right now, so it's lacking a bit of activity. Therefore, we need you to join. Strive to be 1% better every day, and much love. Quick reminder to fix your posture and take deep breaths into your diaphragm from your nose.